people are just so fucking weird. Like even the adult, 20, 25 plus years
See,
old.
yeah, actually, that does take me back to the fucking time I was complaining about. I remember that time I was complaining about the guys at Tech, and I think that's also what's
Yeah.
going on. It's like these guys at Tech, they're actually the only socialization they do are within these like bubble, like echo bubbles, I guess, and they're basically constantly either triggering or jerking themselves off that they would either end up killing themselves en masse or like becoming absolutely retarded en masse seemingly on one day, but it's just like a slow build-up of just constant retarded like feedback with no challenges whatsoever, and they think they know what they're talking about. Fucking hell.
I just don't understand it. How like I really hope like statistically, right? Objective statistics, logical facts, whatever, win out over anecdotes, emotions, opinions every time.
Mm.
And the one thing that I keep trying to refer back to and to put all of this into perspective is that if you have a problem with everyone, then it's most likely that there is no problem. But like the problem
you
is
know
you, not everyone else.
I guess, yeah, I
Like you
mean,
are the common denominator. But
you could also like make the counter argument is that the number of people who agree on the thing doesn't make it right. But the problem is not there. It's like the thing itself really does take quite a bit of thinking, but not too much that you would not be able to do it, right? The
I think
problem
the
is that you
problem
don't
is
do the
people come.
thinking. You don't actually challenge your ideas. You don't put them outside. You're not willing to actually put them to the test because, oh, you claim the other side is just so like bigoted now is like the new cool word now is calling people bigoted, that talking to them is useless. But the purpose of when you talk to someone, especially someone who opposes you, is not necessarily to convince them. um it's really just first test your understanding of the thing you're talking about. Second, test the honesty of the person you're talking to. And third, like test the actual integrity of, the thing you subscribe to.
I was gonna say that I don't I don't think I even believe it, but maybe it's true. Maybe I don't want to believe it and it's true. I really can't tell the difference if I'm a lot less mature
Hmm.
my age or I feel like I'm a lot more mature. Or just both. Like maybe it's like in some places a lack, in other places excess. But I don't know, I come to this game and try and start a conversation with someone, they're talking about some bullshit. Even people my age, they talk about relationships, programs, um, or they regurgitate memes, maybe politics. It's all like
I mean, politics would
makes me
actually be
feel like
more
I'm the
interesting.
it's like the NPC meme, right? Where the non-player characters,
Hmm.
it's like their
Why
opinions are
don't
so
you die?
I may as well just play fucking Pokemon. Yeah.
Or go play Skyrim
Um,
and that's it.
their opinions are
Hello, traveler.
so consistent and like correlated with each other to the point where they're almost like identical.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know. I feel like I'm a human in a world of animals, right? And if I go back to that 7 levels of consciousness thing, um, I think the problem is, like, if I, would be so arrogant as to believe that I'm at the upper end of rationality spectrum, and most people I talk to seem to be at the lower end. As in, like, they're closer to an animal than they are a person.
Mm.
And I feel like, I'm not obviously all the way there yet because I have my own problems, shortcomings or whatever,
Yeah.
efficiencies. But the thing is, I used to be like this absolute fucking retard as a teenager. Like only 10, like quote unquote, only 10 years ago, I was basically the opposite end in terms of well behaved. I was like worse than Aaron, even. I was like a Sequoia and an Aaron and a Zerone like put together. That's what I used to be.
Yeah.
I shit you not, I was like utterly terrible. And 10 years later, I've basically done a 180 in terms of
Yeah.
personal development.
Yeah.
I've come an extremely long way in a relatively short period of time. And now I can stand like almost at the top of the social mountain and look down on people who are still like talking over each other, communicating with emotions, arguing about everything, throwing hissy fits when they don't get their way, stuff like that. And I'm just, have I've gone through like a maturity wormhole. I've like fallen through a maturity wormhole or something and popped out the other side. Or I just can't socialize with people anymore. Or, I'm just an arrogant piece of shit who thinks he's better than everyone else. I really can't tell at this stage.
I think that it is very fair to keep in mind that you have some form of arrogance, like within you, or like self-interest, right? Like everyone has that. No one is truly well, selfless.
Because I do encourage people to be proud of who they are and think highly of yourself, but when
I
it's
think
like
that's a
I'm
bad
better
trait
than
in
you,
general.
then it
Yeah.
kind of
I
just be proud of who you are as a person. That's a healthy thing to do.
I
But when you're comparing yourself to people and you're putting them down,
yeah, yeah.
then it
Because usually
borders on
arrogance
arrogance.
arrogance is not pride, right? Like pride is different.
I don't even know what pride is. To be proud of something.
Pride is like uh when you do something and you're very satisfied with how you did it or what you did, you feel proud of yourself. Like there's an element of satisfaction there, like in your feeling of pride. But that doesn't mean that you're proud, therefore you're automatically, think that you're better than X, Y, and Z. But like arrogance comes in with like, I am better than you are.
Yeah.
Like for me, I find it. I only recently learned about this. Like this is where like I guess the religious aspect comes in, maybe the spiritual for you. Um, like technically in the Quranic Adam and Eve story and Satan, the first sin is actually committed by Satan. Although like it's not the first sin, as in literally the first sin that's ever been committed. It's just in that line of story. The actual first sin is being committed by Satan, and it was basically arrogance. Um, like there's a whole even
Oh,
like
okay.
what we call hadith. Probably if you ask Aaron, he'll tell you. Um, or a narration, where basically um, you know, if you have an atom weight of arrogance, you don't belong in heaven. Um, so we learn about like arrogance is probably is the only. There's also another narration where basically God says that arrogance and another there's like two attributes. There's like the only two traits that I do not allow any that I do not allow any
The
of
expression
my
of.
creatures to have. Period. Like no matter what. Um, it's the narration is of course very metaphorical. Um, in terms of like describing these two not traits attributes. Uh, I'm pretty sure like arrogance and something else. Um, and if you think about it, like for at least from our perspective, we look at it, if someone just by default thinks they're better than everyone, then they're more likely to, well, just put themselves over everything ever. And they become like
As I was
more
gonna say,
likely
it
to
makes
be,
perfect sense
yeah,
that
these people are
arrogance
more likely to
is the
be like
first sin.
the ones that more likely to be the ones that oh fuck that, it's not my problem, you're not me, I'm more important, I don't like
Because
you,
if you
therefore
talk
you should
to,
shut the fuck up, something like that.
we observe the thinking patterns and the behavior of the radical leftists in America, for example, they're like a great example of this. Um, there's a lot of this stuff in like the belief that there's more than two genders and the trannies that argue to the death, the delusions. It is the denial of reality, as in to be so arrogant that you believe that whatever it is that you want supersedes
Yeah.
reality, and it never turns out well.
In
Like
some
if you want
form,
to
yeah.
believe that there's more than two genders, you're gonna get hit with something down the line, set you straight, prove you wrong.
it's it's fucked up. It's like, the that reminds me, remember that video, like we were watching the logical fallacies.
I'm just thinking of Amber now.
uh
She was a feminist and she believed in gender fluidity, and she's having a mental breakdown because some random guy knows what her ass cheeks look like in Russia. She posted her fucking naked pictures everywhere.
How did she do that? She
Like
accidentally
that.
sent it to every contact? Is that what happened? Because I know like there's
No, no,
actual
no,
buttons for
no,
that.
no, not even close. Um, she went through like this horny phase, or what she
Oh
called her
no.
hoe phase, which like she just loved attention from men, and what she would do to get
Yeah.
that is to send, like, I don't know, basically every fucking male friend that she had naughty pictures.
Yeah, that's no.
Um, and oh, there's just so much to talk about because now that I look back on it, I just laugh because I was
Can we
right the
talk
whole
about this
time.
tomorrow then? I wouldn't mind like
She
doing
was
this.
desperately trying to convince me that, oh, it was just a one-off, and then like 2 weeks later, she's back at it. And I'm just laughing, and she's really fucking mad at me for being right because she really
Yeah.
wants it to not be true. And I'm like, just fucking be accountable, take some responsibility for your like, don't act on emotion or sexuality in the moment. Like, think ahead, try and like hold yourself together. And it's like, no, no, that's evil male thinking. Feminism is all about
Yeah.
unbridled freedom and sexual expression. I'm like, fucking go for it then, see where you end up. And she's just ruining her life. Like trying to fuck
Uh,
guys at Bible study because it's the funniest thing imaginable.
yeah, when I heard about that, like I was like I know it sounds funny
Jezebel.
now. Yeah, I didn't even think of that. I was just so angry. I'm like, You know, you got usually,
What the fuck is wrong with you?
yeah,
Yeah.
like the guy who's trying. You're basically playing the devil in the story of that guy.
Yeah, you are the bad guy. Like, there's one bad guy in this whole storybook with like 20 characters, and you are the one bad guy.
Mm.
Anyway.